Thank you all for being here. Mayor Danner, City of Greer officials, friends and family, citizens and business owners of the City of Greer, it gives me great pleasure to wish you a good evening and thank you all for joining us for today's grand opening, dedication, and celebration of our new historic Greer Depot event venue and meeting space. My name is Stephen Hawkins, and 646 days ago, just a hair over 21 months ago, I stood before many of you out by the Rose Garden to announce our plans for this historic project. Joining me today to put the exclamation point on this project is my wife Cheryl, our sons Harrison and Spencer, as well as my brother-in-law James Bird, hiding in the back, and numerous cousins and other family members. While we have officially been open for business since August 3rd, we've waited and celebrate for the purpose of timing the events of this day to coincide with a historic event of particular significance to this building. You see, the Greenville, Spartanburg, and Anderson Railway was constructed between Greenwood, Greenville, and Spartanburg between 1911 and 1914, an extension of the initial 12-mile Anderson Traction Company line from Anderson to Belton, constructed in 1910. The GS&A construction came to Greer in 1913, and it was at that time that the depot standing behind me here today was constructed, as the line was built through what was Greer City Square, or the center of town in the very heart of the city. Although regularly scheduled passenger service would not be established out of this depot until December 7th, 1913, in the days leading up to October 14th, 1913, there was a flurry of final preparations underway so that the current between Greenville and Greer could be turned in on the catenary at 3 p.m. and locomotives and cars brought over from Greenville later that afternoon in preparation for two special trains to Greenville at 5:30 a.m. and 7 or 7:30 a.m. on the morning of October 15th, 1913. Yes, folks, 108 years ago today, two special trains departed this fine station on its inaugural day, packed with Greer citizens bound for Greenville and the Barnum and Bailey Circus. So today, we officially welcome you to our new big top, the historic Greer Depot. Before we get to today's dedication and ribbon cutting, there are some folks we'd like to recognize for their contributions to this endeavor. Hands down, at least from my standpoint, Cheryl Hawkins has to be first on that list. We would also be remiss if we didn't mention Bruce and Bob White and all the folks at Bank of Travelers Rest next, for without them, we absolutely would not be standing here today. Architect David Gall of Winston-Salem, North Carolina, for his existing conditions work in the early stages of this project. Architect David Langley of Greer's own Langley & Associates, and his project architect, David Greer, who labored through the details with me and brought them to life. Yes, we insisted on only using architects named David on this project. The City of Greer's Building and Development Standards Department for their support and guidance. Everyone at Greer CPW for helping both on-site and behind the scenes with transitioning from 9 accounts to just 2 over the course of a year and a half, and keeping the changes straight and power, water, and sewer flowing along the way. I especially want to thank the random concrete truck driver that expedited the unexpected removal of one obsolete telephone pole at the east end of the building in just under 10 seconds. Craig Myers for the countless photos while work was underway, as well as the assistance with historic research at home and at the PNN archives at the University of North Carolina. David Lovegrove and the Greer Heritage Museum for their assistance with restoring the PN emblem on the bay window trackside. St. Clair Signs for their assistance with authentically reproducing the original Greer and PN signage, as well as the period correct suite signage for the building. A supportive public fan base that kept us encouraged when there was plenty to be discouraged about, as the work revealed the true extensiveness of the building's cancerous rot. And last but certainly not least, Matthew Aho of Tri-Square Contractors and his team of skilled craftsmen who made our vision of yesterday a reality for tomorrow. To all of you, and those I may have failed to mention, we say thank you for your contributions. We'd also like to give special recognition today to Betty West and Brenda Bragg, Lynn Hawkins, and all of the ladies of the Primrose Garden Club for their gracious offer and willingness to design, plant, and maintain the Marlene Faye Holdsworth Hawkins Historic Greer Depot Memorial Rose Garden. A drawing will be on display inside tonight, so that you may see for yourself what botanical beauty these ladies have planned for the garden and their efforts to provide a special place of honor for my mother's favorite flower, the yellow rose, all the while designing in an array of other plants that will offer numerous other colors year-round. My mother, you would think in 2 years I could get over this. My mother would certainly be pleased, and I'm sure when you see the design, you will be pleasantly surprised at how this project of beautification will add just another layer of shine to this city centerpiece. In recognition of this long-term commitment to not only historic Greer Depot, but also the citizens of Greer and the community at large, we want the Primrose Garden Club to be forever recognized for their contribution to this focal feature of the depot. I would tell you to step forward, but you're already standing there. So if Lisa and Betty would take their positions on either side of the cart, we would like to make a presentation. It is with great pleasure that we say thank you and present this token of our appreciation to the Primrose Garden Club to be displayed as a part of the finished rose garden when it is planted in December. Thank you to all of the ladies of the Primrose Garden Club. Without further ado, we come to tonight's dedication. As anyone who knows our family and this project already knows, this undertaking has been a merger of love and family, with a sense of community belonging and a responsibility to properly preserve this architectural diamond not only for ourselves, but for future generations within our community. As I've said countless times since we started down this road on June 1st, 2017, when we're dead and gone, few may remember. Stephen and Cheryl Hawkins. But many will know the names Marlene and Rudolph Hawkins. It brings us great pleasure to dedicate this restored and preserved historic landmark tonight in my father's memory as the Rudolph M. Hawkins Historic Greer Depot event venue and meeting space. May the selflessness my parents exhibited in the raising of their children and giving to their friends and community be memorialized here for posterity. The photo you see beside me here will be displayed proudly on the interior wall of the venue space as a reminder to all of what the face of true love and generosity looks like. Now, before we open our doors and welcome you all in for an evening of food, fun, and music, please bear with us just a few moments as we memorialize tonight with a brief ribbon cutting ceremony to make official the completion of this historic project. If Mayor Danner and Matt Aho, I don't see you, will step forward for one moment and join my family, I here on the dock will make this official. Try to get everybody in one photo.
Don't try to hide it. I know you don't.
We'll make it work. Y'all squeeze up tight.
Yeah, we're good.
Here, come on over here by me. He's going to get on the end. All right, on the count of three. 1, 2, 3. Thank you all for being a part of this historic night. Yesterday has arrived. Welcome to the historic Greer Depot. Let's celebrate.